choice later on. His hometown right now, Salt Lake City, Utah. His home club is the Napa Bow Chiefs out of Nampa, Idaho. Of course, he's from Caldwell, Idaho originally. He's self-taught, and of course, Hank Haney is his YouTube golf coach. Next up on the mix, you can see that's Henry Bass. They call him the Bass Master. He's been shooting 11 years, shoots for Bowtech with gold tips. He's going to be shooting those triple X's. He's out of Utah.
Dallas is his home club, big club out there.
And he's been in this shoot-off 5 times. And how about Chance Bobeff? Chance Bobeff right there in that elite jersey. Chance is magnificent. He's primarily a 3D shooter, but when he gets around...
Well, when he gets indoors, he's no slouch.
20 years shooting, shoots for elite gold tip as well. Mount Juliet, Tennessee is his hometown. His home club, at home. That's where he shoots. He's been in this shoot-off 11 times. Richard Bowen, you can see right there in the middle part of your screen. He's been shooting 25 years, shoots for Matthews Gold Tips. Comes from Rogers, Arkansas. This is the first shoot-off for him. And he was in the Kansas City Shootout 2017. He won that one. And there's that dude, what's his name?
Yeah, I'm not sure who that guy is. I think they call him the Freak Show.
Oh, the Freak Show, yeah. Definitely. That is Jesse Broadwater. You can see now shooting for Matthews. If this is the first time you're checking out 2017, Jesse Broadwater shooting for...
Matthews was a longtime Hoyt shooter and doing what he does now with a Matthews bow in his hand.
Shooting the TRX-8. Braden Gillantine, his teammate as well. So Broadwater, of course, Holman Freak Show has been shooting 27 years. Matthews, Easton, he's out of Ellington, Florida now. Sarasota Archers for his home club. His coach is Gracie Broadwater. He's been in the shoot-off 10 times, Jesse. Never won it. And this is a tournament, Paul, where he said, like, whatever, but he really wants to win it.
Second place many, many, many times.
Of course, Braden Gillantine out of Massachusetts. We talked to you about Braden. Braden's been around archery for a long time, 14 years professionally, shoots for Matthews Easton's out of Hudson, Massachusetts. His home club is Reedy's Archery. That's the way you say it.
That's the way you say it, okay.
Reedy's Archery. All right. He's been in this shoot-off 4 times, of course. World Archery Indoor World Champ, NFAA Indoor Champ, World Champion Indoor and Outdoor. Just an extensive resume. Stefan Hansen also came out earlier. Stefan Hansen, of course, the baby-faced assassin.
Stefan also from Denmark. His coach, Mr. Damsbo, Martin Damsbo. Proud coach tonight.
Stefan Hansen, of course. He wanted me to try to pronounce his hometown. Nikolbing.
There you go.
That was close.
Perfect, I think.
Now, he won this last year, by the way, Stefan Hansen.
Yep.
And he did it in very unique style, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Lewis Holmes III, also already out and about. Lewis Holmes, of course, they call him the Bow Fisherman. 3 years pro, shoots for PSC, Black Eagle, out of Friendship, Wisconsin. Todd Lambright, a name that we haven't heard a whole lot of.
Todd's been shooting a long time out of Pennsylvania. He won the Midwest Open this year.
12 years shooting, Matthews, Black Eagle arrows. His home club is 60X Custom Strings. Also, we have Stephen Manful. Stephen, a young college student who goes to Wichita State.
Who I saw playing a basketball game earlier.
They certainly did. Manful's been shooting for 7 years, a couple years as a pro. He shoots for Prime, your teammate.
Teammate up there, yep. Good to see him there.
Yeah, from Wichita, Kansas. Home club is Diamond Archery. And of course, Stephen's known for winning the 2015 Texas Shootout.
Archer he admires the most? John Rambo.
Hey. Why not? Dan McCarthy also in the mix, 15-year pro, shooting a Matthews Bow Black Eagle arrows. He's out of Wisconsin, and he's won many 3D championships in his day. We also have Tate Morgan, young archer in the mix. We shoot 18 years. Hoyt and Easton are his sponsors out of Billings, Montana. He's a U.S. Open champion, and this will be his second shoot-off. Mr. Perfect, Mike Schlosser, also in the mix. Schlosser, of course, a Hoyt shooter with Easton. This is his third time in this shoot-off. He's won Vegas, World Championship, Lancaster, multi-world champions, multiple record holder. Mr. Perfect, Mike Schlosser, in the mix. And then there's a young man named Aaron Tedford.
He's got a similar last name to mine.
He certainly does, because I believe he is your brother.
He is my younger brother, and I'm proud to see him up there. It's a good day for the Tedfords.
Great Falls, Montana. He shoots gearhead bows. You'll know it when you see it. It's very unique, and Easton arrows
there
as well.
There it is on the screen.
There he is. And matter of fact, he's shooting the new Super Drive 23s from Easton. Aaron, the first competitor ever to take that brand new carbon arrow by Easton and shoot perfect score. So congratulations to Aaron Tedford on that. And then next to him, left part of your screen, you might know him, that's Alex Wiffler, folks. Alex Wiffler, 12th year shooting. He shoots PSE, Black Eagle. He's out of Crete, Illinois. His home club is his home. His coach is his mom, Chris. He's been in this shoot-off a couple times. Of course, he's the Vegas champion in 2015, Lancaster in 2016. He also won the Illinois State Championship this year. Congratulations to him. His archers he admires the most, Jesse Broadwater and Brady Ellison. Of course, why not, right?
Two legends of the sport.
You know, there's a lot of support that goes into archery, as you can see as we watch this practice round right now. Not scoring, giving the archers a good look through the peep sight at what they're up against. Left part of your screen is the big cat, man of the people, Steve Anderson. Now, Steve, I have to say, I have to give him credit. He's suffering through some back pain. Woke up in the hotel 2 mornings ago with kind of severe back pain, only able to take some ibuprofen for that back. He's shooting through it. Next to him is going to be Henry Bass. There's a good look at Anderson with that Easton hat on. There's Botex Bass. And then Chance Bobeth, man, he knows how to light this tournament up.
Talk about just year after year, indoor, consistent lethal indoor shooter.
But Steve Anderson's got a microphone on. He's got a wireless mic on. Are we going to get commentary from Steve Big Cat Anderson? Are we going to hear the groans and the moans?
It's all good stuff to hear. All the details.
Absolutely. Now, if you're brand new to archery and you're taking a look at this for the very first time, you're going to hear us say a couple of things. One of them is an end. Describe to us, Paul, what an end means.
What an end is on the scorecard, or just in general, it's known as the amount of arrows that you're shooting in that particular round is how most people describe it. 5 arrows for this one is considered an end.
So once you shoot your 5 arrows and the lane is clear, you go down, they score, and then you retrieve your arrows. This is practice only. Chance Bobeth right there. Elite shooter, gold tip, known for just holding and holding and holding.
Good solid target there.
Yep. So it looks like 1 shooter to go. 2 shooters to go, sorry. Wiffler still and McCarthy. So Alex Wiffler, really a big mystery. Worked on his shooting last year to try to do something a little bit different, try to get him to the next level, and it didn't work, but he was training himself so hard to try something different in his shooting that it took him quite a while to get, and that's really his now. So we're starting to see Wiffler and his SC start to come on strong these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I talked a little bit earlier, and he's very satisfied with the way things are going right now, and he's done a lot of work to get here. So he's one of any one of these 15 guys have a chance. Definitely got some experience winning big tournaments. Obviously, as you know, the big. So
take a look at Steve Anderson on the left part of the screen. When he was pulling those arrows out of the target, those are micro arrows. It's not arrows that got you, is it?
No. What I'll do from as you tell in the size of holes in their targets is during the round of round for the first 2 days, do the biggest that they can, maybe 15 to 20 12s. What they do with this is they switch to small outdoor arrows with like X10s or a arrow, a lot smaller, to be able to shoot them inside that to that out scores high.
So get big arrows, 7s, 5s. I know Steve 25s, even 20. The big one into this shoot-off as 15 shooters. Get ready to go. Some of them choosing micro arrows. We know that some of them, like Steven, just going to go with that 25.
So I just heard Bruce saying this is the first end of regular scoring. X counts as 5. He didn't say anything about inside-out scoring yet.
It's okay.
I think they have on this class, this division, they get one end of regular scoring.
I see. So that was kind of the difference in what we saw from the first shoot-offs just moments ago. So now we're back on track with what we were told before the broadcast. There's Steve Anderson, big draw length. Look at the length of that arrow. So Steve shooting those Easton X10s, long draw length. When you're a taller shooter with a longer draw length, with a pound limit, say 60 pounds is the indoor limit, who has the advantage? A shorter archer or a taller archer? Or I should say, a shorter draw length or a longer draw length?
Well, indoors, it's not so much of an advantage or disadvantage. Now, that actually makes a difference when you're outdoors. When you're shooting 50 meters and you have a 32-inch draw length like Steve Anderson, your arrow's getting out there probably around close to 300 feet per second, 290. When you have a shorter draw length, maybe Stefan Hansen, who's 27 inches, it's going to be tough to get that speed up there. So I would say the longer draw length archer has a bit of an advantage with the speed.
So Stefan, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, as we know, shooting in the wind speed can be a definite advantage.
Yeah, definite advantage. Cutting through that wind and letting that wind have less effect on the flight of the arrow. So Stefan Hansen, who shoots for Carbon Express in terms of his arrow sponsor, he broke out the Nano Pro RZ arrows. And we had a good look few moments ago of Stefan Hansen's target. There's Stephen Manfold at full draw right now. Ooh, a little English on that one.
Yeah, a little tricky there, but it looks like he caught the line on that one.
You can see the look on Stephen's face. Yeah. And there's Dan McCarthy there, left part of your screen, the Matthews shirt on. His process, a little bit of a head flip. He settled into his, we call it the anchor. There's another term here to archery, the anchor point.
Anchor point is basically, as you can see, where his hand comes behind his jaw. It's a very solid point in your system where you can repeat that process every time.
So Manful with another release on the arrow and a big breath.
One more to go.
One more to go for both of these archers, taking their time. Again, 4 minutes allowed per end in this particular type of round. Contrast to Las Vegas, the Vegas round, it's only 2 minutes to shoot 3 arrows.
So you'll see a lot of these guys, they finish their 5 arrows in sometimes 2.5 minutes. Minute and a half left on the clock, they're back, already set their bow up. Some of these guys like take a little bit more time. Dan McCarthy being one of them.
You can see Alex Whiffler there standing around. He's actually completed, but it's common courtesy that the archer immediately in front of you and behind you doesn't move while you're at full draw, and that's what we saw there.
Don't want to walk off the line and bump somebody's arrows on accident.
Absolutely not. A big round of applause from the crowd as we finished our first end of scoring in this 15-shooter shoot-off for the Freestyle Professional Male. Right here at the 37th Annual NFAA Indoor National Championship. We're coming at you from the Duke Energy Convention Center here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside pro shooter Paul Tedford. And Paul, you can't do anything about the arrows that are just sitting right there.
And you know, sit there and just wait for the judge to call your arrows, and hopefully you advance to the next round. Did what you can do, and now you're at the mercy of them.
Steve Anderson taking a look at other targets. 25 for Steve Anderson, I believe we heard called out. Anderson with a little face English there.
I believe so.
25 for Henry Bass as we move on down the line. After this scoring end, we're going to move to inside-out scoring. As we saw one kind of fly wide on Stephen Manford. That would not have been good enough. So Chance Bobeth in with a 25 as well. Good look at Jesse Broadwater.
Always very calm in these situations. You can barely tell he's even nervous. Maybe that's why they call him the freak show.
Richard Bowen comes in at a 25. Once again, all these shooters, to get to this point, 120 out of 120X.
Never missed the whole weekend.
Never missed
so
the whole weekend.
In Vegas, that would equal, in Vegas you shoot 90 10s, which the 10 is the same size as the X ring. And that would mean you have to shoot 30 more arrows just to get to the shoot-off. So
It's a lot of opportunities to miss. I mean, it really is, if you think about it.
And the thing is, this is a mid guy. We're in the Vegas off that shot rounds. Got 120 X's. We've got 900 Vegas. So
coming in, the Reedy's archery shooter. It's actually live in Colorado now. Definitely chance. Assassin. You can see it on the back of his jersey.
I changed his nickname to now it's just Assassin.
Exactly.
We're going on, and he's not so baby face anymore.
Just really 15 great archers to be around. A lot of great energy with these shooters. A lot of respect. You know, some of these shooters shine in different like 3D or outdoor. But getting together here. So Lewis. So our first victim.
Lewis in the professional fishing industry. He used to travel around those competitions and compete in that every weekend.
Can you imagine? He just shot 104 at once. Todd Lampright's still in the next 25 out of Pennsylvania. Represent. Next up on our list should be Stephen Manful. Stephen, a student, like I mentioned, as well as holding down an internship. Really. There you go. So he did catch that line like you called.
He did. Busy man.
So Stephen, I know this has got to be worth that 11-hour drive. He drove.
It's a long drive.
And driving home tomorrow.
Yeah. Making the shoot off though, it's a good feeling after you.
Yeah. One of the things that we get here, you shoot a perfect post, but we'll post that up so you get to see the target that these shooters actually shot.
We'll use your target back at your poster. And it's like,
as Mr. Perfect 25, those targets around and really see. One of the things I noticed is that Mike Closer was drilling them. Absolutely. Yeah. One glare. I know that Chance Bobef shot 60 inside out on the first day, 58 inside out on the second day.
Wow.
25
Impressive.
for Aaron Tedford. So your bro still in it.
Still in there.
Montana crew. And Fuller will be the last player here. 25 for Alex. One shooter. Yeah. Dropping that.
Hanging target. So what they're doing is they want to have a good, clean face. So when the judges call arrows, it's totally fair and everybody's target is new.
All right, Paul. This goes actually to a good point. One of the things I've seen traveling around different clubs and shop country that have shooting ranges. You see shot out target time.
It's exciting because you practice to come to these events, and you're doing if you're doing a target yourself as often as your 60 arrows that you probably.
So think about that. If you're new to archery or you've been shooting locally, spend the money on new targets. Get used to that new target face, because I can tell you one thing. In a 5-spot like this, if you walk up and you have that thing in your head, I don't really shoot good on new targets, you better have that dialed out, because if you start into a tournament like this and the first arrow that you shoot is a 4, you're out of it. Yeah. The indoor game is the most precise game ever.
It is.
I mean, we're talking even amateurs, Paul.
Yeah,
after
it's
the
a game
first day, 6 shooters were perfect. Perfect 60s in amateurs. It's
a game of not missing, and to do that, you have to think at home to make people to do it.
Join us here live. YouTube. We are in the middle of the Freestyle Professional Male National Championship. There are 14 archers remaining with 5 arrows to go right now.
These 5 arrows are scored inside-out scoring. And what that means, as we talked about earlier, is if that arrow is inside that X line, that counts as 5. Anything outside or touching the X line is counted as a 4.
Braden Gillantine taking a good look at the arrow he just shot. Jesse Broadwater, I think, pretty confident in his shot.
Braden's a pretty fast shooter. You see him load and get back, hold on very quickly.
Right part of your screen there is Richard Bowen of Arkansas. He might be a few people that these targets. Oh, look at the YouTube sensation Emily B, who's providing some of our pictures here today with our extremely experienced and great crew providing all these amazing pictures. Doing a great job. Good shot looking down the line. Steve Anderson. He's tall. Yeah.
He's got to be 6'6", I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's tall, and he's a good shooter.
Yeah.
He's a good shooter.
Great shooter.
Using those X10 micro arrows. Anderson having a little chit-chat, either with himself or with Henry Bass.
With Henry, you know, they've been shooting a long time together, and they used to live in the same town, and they're pretty comfortable shooting around each other. So it's cool to see them both up there, and good friends.
Henry Bass known actually for being a pretty quick shooter here. But Steve Anderson actually releases. So
Steve's got 4 inside-out X's.
You know what? You look at that middle arrow right there, and if you're shooting a 27, that puppy is out.
Yeah.
So Steve Anderson with a good choice to shoot micro arrows. At least that's what it looks like right now.
Steve with a big breath there. He's got 1 arrow to go. There's Todd Lambright.
60X custom strings, pro staff shooter. And you'll see scattered on the shirts, oftentimes on the backside or on the sleeves, other sponsors. So Stephen Manful right there. If you're wondering who's in the shoot-off, I'm going to go through it really quickly for you. Steve Anderson, Henry Bass, Chance Bobeth, Richard Bowen, Jesse Broadwater, Braden Gillantine, Stefan Hansen, Todd Lambright, Stephen Manful, Dan McCarthy, Tate Morgan, we haven't talked much about Tate, Mike Schlosser, Aaron Tedford, Alex Whiffler. Lewis Holmes III was in it. After the first end, he dropped 1 point, he's out. Henry Bass, looks possibly like that top.
He's got 1 touch in there on the top left. Steve Anderson with 5 inside-out X's. Steve will advance to the next end if there's another person with 5 inside-out.
Staying alive, Steve Anderson. So Stephen Manful taking his time as he now looks like Stefan Hansen as well. There he is, the assassin.
Looking good and steady.
Ooh.
He's got left.
Yeah, 58
Lots
seconds
of time.
on the clock.
Lots of time.
Stefan Hansen knows how to do it. Shaking his head.
Been here before. He won this event last year.
First shooter ever to make the switch to win. What is
I'll
that?
tell you something real quick about Stefan. He was shooting a button release in his first 120 arrows to get him to this shoot-off.
Really?
He decided to switch to a hinge for the shoot-off.
Wow.
Yep, so you can see. He has 5 inside-out X's.
Yeah, that was a good letdown.
He is tied with at least Steve Anderson, if not more guys. We're
That
about to find out.
a great letdown for Stefan Hansen.
Good choice to shoot that hinge release. He's shooting it well.
Stefan Hansen with a little smile.
Braden back there shaking his head. You never know with Braden. It's hard to read, but we'll see what happens.
So we'll start off scoring with Steve Anderson. I think we had a pretty good shot. Those X10s on an indoor target like this, pretty clear.
Pretty easy to see. 25.
Yep. Confirmation, Steve Anderson in with a 25. He will live to see another end. You can kind of see, I mean, everyone knows what they're looking at. Could possibly be Steve Manful's out of it.
Yep.
Ooh, Henry Bass is out with a 23. So Henry Bass will take a seat. His weekend over.
I got to tell you, I see a little peek of Aaron's target, my brother down there, and it looks like he's got 5 inside out. Pretty
Wouldn't
excited
surprise
for him.
me. Have to mention, of
I
course.
just got confirmation that he actually has 5 inside out from someone who's been closer than us.
All right.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that.
Chance Bobeth. Call was made. Richard Bowen. 23. So Richard's now got to take a seat. You see the handshake there from Chance. Making a couple ends into the shoot-off is nothing to be ashamed about. It's a great experience. You really get to know what you're feeling, what your brain's experiencing, and how your body handles the mind tricks that can be played on you.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things that go through your mind. Jesse Broadwater, 24. Wow.
Jesse Broadwater bounced out.
That's big.
I think a lot of people expected getting used to that TRX 8 that he's shooting. A huge jump after shooting 16 years with Hoyt, now switching to Matthews. You can watch Jesse on Instagram, on social media, really talking about how he continues to work with that bow as Braden Gillantine now with 24. We'll have to see and wait what happens. I think the four doesn't necessarily. We know that at least first and second, from what we've seen so far, you actually have Steve. We know 25. 25.
A chance was a 24.
A chance as a 24. So right now we have two shooters standing at 25. Is that pressure we talked about? For sure we know that at least Steve Anderson and Stefan Hansen are shooting off for the championship. That's right. So here's the situation. If one more archer of the remaining archers has 25, then we're going to be shooting for the podium.
Yep.
And the rest of the archers are done.
The rest of them will be done, yeah.
However, if no one else shoots a 25, Steve Manful, 21. So Steve getting deep into the shoot-off. Congratulations to him. I know that with school and work, he hasn't been able to shoot as many arrows as he wants to. I'm sure that played in a little. Like back to my point. We need another 25 in order to keep this going for first, second, and third. If not, we're going to pile all the 24s.
Yeah, that'd be a huge shoot-off for third place. Holy cow.
Huge shoot-off for third place. So McCarthy is out with the 23 as well. That leaves Tate Morgan, Mike Schlosser, Aaron Tedford, who we think has a 25, and Alex Whiffler. I'm going to tell you something, Paul. You can hear a pin drop in the stadium right now. Oof, so Tate also into the 24 club.
Wow. Yeah, it's very quiet. Just everybody is very intensely watching what the scores will be. Interesting to see.
Tate Morgan, Hoyt shooter, really one to keep an eye on. The young man is really starting to put some great results together.
Yeah, 22 or 23 years old from my home state. He's a killer out there. Really is.
Next up is going to be Mr. Perfect from the Netherlands.
Ooh, that's really big.
Wow.
Mike is...
Did you get confirmation that Aaron has 25?
I did. Yeah, we're about to find out, but I did.
Right? So there's a possibility right now it's going to be Steve Anderson, Stefan Hansen. Wow.
Wow. Nice work.
So we know for all those that have 24s now, they are bounced completely out, and the podium is going to be shot off. Last one is going to be Alex Whiffler. Does Alex have 25 points? Then it's going to be a four-way shoot for the national championship. Wow. So Alex Whiffler bounced out. So that's it. All those shooters with 24s, 23s, 21s are done for the day.
Big change.
Huge for this national championship. Steve Anderson, Stefan Hansen, and Aaron Tedford.
Yeah, Aaron Tedford. That's really cool to see him up there.
He was leading a couple ago, wasn't he?
They practice in a lot of years, and
get a good shot of Aaron Tedford. Take a look at his equipment because he shoots a very
and say, what a thing.
Aaron Tedford for years ahead. He's shooting the T30 bow. We talked about it. Great, by the way. It's Paul and Aaron lives over great ball. Let's give it a go.
Well, I could, but a lot of people aren't left-handed.
Oh, I
That's
see.
one thing
Oh.
about both my brother and I. We're both left-handed, 13 months apart, so we're very close in age. And for our whole life, growing up, so it's been good.
So this is what remains. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. This is another event in 2017 NFAA Indoor National Championship. We're in Cincinnati, Duke Energy. It's down to 3 shooters: Steve Anderson, Stefan Hansen, and Montana hero Aaron Tedford.
He is.
So the podium right now is set. No matter what happens from this point, we know that these shooters will finish 1, 2, and 3 on the day. Paul.
Steve Anderson and Stefan Hansen, they're both shooting the little arrows. They're very small outdoor arrows. Aaron is actually still shooting the Easton Superdrive 23.
Yeah.
So he's got a little bit bigger diameter arrow, and it's a good forgiving setup he's got going on with those arrows, and we'll see how he does.
The archer which Aaron Tedford admires the most is Brady Ellison. He's real serious about that, and you know, even though it's a different discipline recurve, I think the way Brady Ellison goes about his business and you know what he's won, what he's able to accomplish, world records recently, bronze medal in the Olympics. I don't blame Aaron Tedford for putting, you know,
Aaron actually used to shoot Olympic recurve, so he knows the struggle. Here we go in the compound.
So just off the right part of your screen, you can see the stabilizer. That's going to be Aaron Tedford. So here goes. Quick to draw. Always likes to draw quick on the whistle. Steve Anderson, left part of your screen. Stefan Hansen, right there in the middle. You bet Steve Anderson's taking a nice low. So Steve Anderson with a bit of a head shake. There's a good look at that bow.
Inside out X from
Inside
Aaron.
out X for Tedford. 4 more to go. 4.
Here we go over to
Happy right now. Okay, so a little fuzz in the arrow. I think I want to take off a little distract.
Looks like he's pretty. Must have been his second, third arrow. Doesn't look too upset about anything. Was it binocular?
If Aaron Tedford could pull out this win with that bow, it would be such a coup. Stefan Hansen right now.
3 inside out.
Looking clean, Mean Joe Green. See if we can't get a nice look at Steve Anderson's target. Now, Steve, just taking a deep breath right now. So winning this national game. You're getting this far, this deep into the evening. Stefan Hansen with a little shimmy trying to relax his body.
Steve Anderson, it looked like 4.
No, that bottom left one is close, but look, he's got a little bit of something. Need is just a little bit of paper, a little bit of white.
Yep, 1 more arrow to go, Steve.
Got Aaron Tedford just shot. You can see the pound of that super drive 3 hit that Morel target. Yeah, we know what that was about. That means he is clean.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, Steve Anderson didn't look happy. You can hear it groan from the crowd. What that's about. Here's a look at that equipment. Into a point, Aaron Tedford. Speechless. Bingo. Aaron Tedford really experiencing kind of pressure. So Steve Anderson, this bumps all around. Don't know what happened with Steve Anderson if he didn't look too happy with it. Here we go, though. We're going to hear the scores as we're down to 3. This is for the national championship. Do we continue to the next end, or is this thing going to be wrapped? We know it looks like Anderson and Anderson for sure are going to be going after it.
For sure, Stefan. 25, okay.
25.
Well, we got some interesting stuff going on here.
To end
Stefan
4,
Hansen looks like a for sure 25, and Aaron, his middle target could be in, could be out. It's hard to say. He's looking at it real closely.
All right, so one more end we go. We know what these two shooters. This one's going to be tight. What happens with Aaron Tedford? Was the Super Drive 23s in this instant the right choice? Of course it is to get him to this point.
Yeah, forgiving.
Yeah. The one
Very
thing we do
forgiving.
know is that that arrow change from 27s or big fat arrows down
Here
to
we
micro
go.
arrows is going to win.
Third place, didn't catch. Good
Barely
podium finish
touched
for
that
Aaron.
line.
Yep.
Still nothing to hang your head low about. Aaron Tedford on the podium here at the National Championship, really coming on strong.
2 podiums in a row. Last week at the ASA and this week at Indoor Nationals.
Unbelievable.
Yep. Great work there.
I think the only thing he told me he ever won was the Montana Beaver shoot. So good for him.
Yep.
So here we go, clean targets once again. Got to put up fresh faces.
Steve Anderson, Stefan Hansen, champion from last year, and Steve with a lot of indoor experience lately and been in a lot of shoot-offs. World field champion Steve is.
Yeah. He just wrapped up the 2017 USA Archery National Indoor Championship.
Yep.
She's the
Won
national
that
champion.
also. Yep.
Won that over Alex Wiffler. That's a unique tournament. It's not done all in one place. It's shot all around the country, and then they take your scores. But Steve knew because in Salt Lake City, they were last area to shoot, so he knew that the lead score was Alex Wiffler. He knew the score he had to beat.
Which a lot of pressure to add to the whole game, which is already a lot of pressure. So,
Before shoot, so people were texting him, they were letting him know, hey, this is the score we do. Pressure, it's here. It's idiot. But Steve had 2.5 weeks worth of pressure piled on him. So this is it. This is end number 4 for a national championship. The tall guy, right part of your screen, dominating your screen is Steve Anderson, Stefan Hansen.
this could go for a while. These two guys shooting very solid, both capable of counting for arrow after.
Question. I've been told in years past we've seen him shoot up to an hour. I don't know how well he's going to handle it, that's for sure.
He's a tough guy.
Strong like a bull.
Ooh,
Oh, door is
missed there.
open. Door
Very
is open.
Steve could take this right here.
Tell me the pressure right now that's going on. Steve knows
Steve
Stefan
knows.
through it.
Yeah.
Of course he knows.
He heard an ooh from the crowd, which is always an indication. Let's see what Steve has here.
Steve just threw another arrow down the range. I mean, this is, you know, you have one arrow in the bag in terms of, oh, if I miss one, we're going, tied. But
Again, yeah.
this is it. Time to close the door. Time to make your move.
This is where the rubber meets the road right here.
That's right.
Steve's got
Oh,
5-4.
here we go.
One
The
arrow.
tension mounting in the arena. The Duke energy can the crowd can feel it. Steve Anderson has in his grasp the national championship. His streak of wins. Stefan Hansen is going to take
The
nice
pressure
deep
on.
breath. Exactly.
Gonna
Let
watch
Steve shoot first. Here he goes, Steve.
Step.
And he releases it, and that's
he
a
wins.
fist pump.
Yep.
So Steve Anderson, Stefan Hansen knows, even if he puts this in the middle, it's going to be the big cat. Steve Anderson, the man of the people.
Hugging his wife there, nice and happy.
Sponsored Easton X10, paying off again after the cue from this shooter last year, the first shooter to switch arrows mid-tournament in order to win it. Steve Anderson knew that was the key to success. So Stefan Hansen still with one more arrow to shoot. You can see it's the top right target. You can see that 4 right there that really opened the door for Steve Anderson to slam it shut.
Good to see. Nice work by both guys there.
Nampa Bow Chiefs in Nampa, Idaho, all smiling right now. I'm sure Hank Haney, too, his YouTube golf coach, is just thrilled.
Oh, yeah.
So Stefan Hansen, this is elemental at this point. Just putting arrows down the range, and then you're going to hear a nice big cheer from the crowd for the effort that Stefan Hansen put in. And Caldwell, Idaho native, he will take the national championship, a favorite among like Anderson going to take it back tonight. A lot of people that are patting him on the back.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Utah resident Steve Anderson, as he gets congratulations from all the other shooters. 15 archers made it into the freestyle professional male category, all shooting 120 X's here in Cincinnati. The first of 3 years, at least 3 years here at the Duke Energy Convention Center. If you're watching this live or you're watching this later on YouTube, you want to think about going to NFAUSA.com and checking out the 2018, the 38th annual NFAA Indoor National Championship. Anyone can come here and compete and have an amazing time. You'll find those 5-spot targets all over every shop of the country.
Every shop, yeah. It's a great event to come to. There's so many people that can drive to this event because it's pretty centrally located.
Yeah.
If you can make this event, I would highly recommend coming here for a long time. And everybody I know is just always happy.
Approximately 15 for those people are wondering if we're going to do the podium ceremony here. That's where they're going to do it. But that'll do it for us here at the 37th Annual NFAA Indoor National Championship from the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Congratulations to all of our winners here in all the different categories we had. I'm Greg White, and for Paul Tedford, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And make sure you tell all your friends about this amazing tournament, and make sure you get down here for 2018 as you witnessed Steve Anderson win the national championship. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.